We were talking about thoughts and conscience and then the actions. I want us to look at the impact of actions on the inner being, the soul. And what happens is that every time I perform an action, I create an imprint. And the imprint is not on my face, not on my hands, but it's actually on the soul itself, which means that good actions and I create good imprints, actions that are contrary to my conscience and my inner compass, and I'm creating those patterns also inside of myself. We don't realize this normally, of course, but once we start exploring the inner world, we begin to understand. There are two models that explain this and help us understand what's going on. Just as when we look at light, then you can see light in the form of waves, or you can see it in the form of rays. And each model helps to explain a different characteristic of how light works. In the same way, looking at the soul, who am I? If I look at the image, the model of layers, the thoughts, the feelings, the understanding, the beliefs, and the conscience, deeper than that come the imprints. And the imprints that I carry are the sum total of all the actions and experiences I've ever been through. And this is what creates personality. In layman's language, perhaps somebody could say that personality is what I am today as a result of all my past experiences. And so these imprints actually create personality. Think about an iceberg. You see 1/10 above the surface and 9/10 is hidden below. Personality is a little bit like that. When you meet an individual, you see one tiny fraction of their personality, and maybe even they don't know what's below the surface. But the exploration through meditation gives us an understanding of the depth of our personality and the method to be able to clean out our personality so we touch into the core values, the intrinsic qualities of the soul, the qualities that we all want to experience in our life: peace, love, truth, purity, and joy. These imprints are there in every single human being within the soul itself, but they tend to get covered up with layers and layers of dust. And so the journey of meditation is to be able to go deeper and deeper within the self till I connect with those original qualities which are truly mine. The other image, which is also very useful to look at, is the model of the circle, the cycle. Thoughts, the filter, the conscience, action, and yes, the action has a repercussion outside, but the repercussion is also inside. The imprint is on the soul itself. And the imprints that I carry are hidden away, but through external stimulus, those imprints come into emerged form in my thinking, and the whole circle again goes, which is fine until it becomes a negative circle and cycle. Negative thoughts, my conscience isn't functional, negative actions, negative imprints, given the same traffic jam, again I erupt, why this, why this, why that? My thinking pattern has now become more and more entrenched. My behavior, which is explosive, has become less and less manageable, And so the fuse is now shorter and shorter, and the entrenched patterns of behavior, imprints on the soul, trap me into that cycle of negativity. This is also called the addiction cycle. Think about substance addictions, and this is the cycle that's working. But also think about addictions of the inner world, my addiction to attachment, my addiction to ego and anger. It's the same cycle. And through meditation, when we understand what's going on, we can put a break to negative thinking. We can put a break to allowing the negativity through into action. We can now start clearing the negative imprints and start allowing the positive, beautiful, original qualities of the soul to emerge. So just as we had managed to get into a cycle of negativity, we can now, with meditation, start a positive cycle again. And this is how I change. My transformation leads to transformation in my world around me, because whatever is coming to me, I now deal with in a different way. My understanding is different, my perception is different, my actions and my behavior are different. Is it possible to change the world? We believe it is. We believe that when I change, my world changes, that impacts many, many others around me. And so, yes, we can become an instrument of change to create a better world. So Raj Yoga is benefit for me, but also benefit for everyone around me and benefit for the world also. And so understanding the whole role of these imprints, people would recognize the word sanskaras, the imprints that I carry. So meditation means allowing those original, elevated, pure sanskars, imprints that I carry within the self to emerge and be expressed. And then this is what life is about. It's that expression of pure love, of giving and not wanting anything in return, and not just for one individual or three individuals, but for each and every person I meet. It means being able to have an awareness that's elevated, that impacts my attitude, that changes the way in which I see things, my vision. It changes my behavior. It changes the culture. It changes the world. And so meditation means having the tool with which to be able to change myself and see that working in a very effective way in my life.